Good morning, guys. Well, this lawsuit focuses what can or can't happen here at parks like this one. The two organizations say that it's here at parks where they can connect people to certain services they otherwise may not have access to. Now, the lawsuit, which was filed on Monday, was filed by Circle the City and Valle del Sol. That is two organizations that regularly work with people experiencing homelessness throughout Phoenix. They are challenging a city ordinance that took effect earlier this month that restricts charitable food distribution and medical care in city parks unless organizations obtain a permit. And the ordinance states that only 2 permits can be issued a month. So the groups argue those restrictions interfere with the work they do every day in parks across the city.
This call to help those in need is something that all human societies across time have engaged in and are called to do. And that is precisely what these organizations are engaging in, and the city is preventing them from doing it with this ordinance.
So the lawsuit argues the ordinance violates the organization's First Amendment rights and unfairly targets charitable aid. This is the second federal lawsuit challenging the ordinance. Just last week, a judge temporarily blocked Phoenix from enforcing the law against St. Herman's Table, which is a church ministry that serves meals to people experiencing homelessness. But that ruling only applies to that organization. So Circle the City and Valle del Sol are now seeking their own court order that would stop enforcement while their case moves forward. So the organizations say without their care, people can go without medical care and other services. But the spokesperson for the city of Phoenix says that they believe this ordinance is lawful and that they will defend this ordinance in court moving forward. So as this battle continues, we will keep you updated. I'll send it back to you.